guys, it's RNS Events Consultants.
Hey.
I'm Rudo.
And I'm Sisben.
Together we are RNS.
Favourite duo of all time. But yeah, welcome back to our channel, guys. So as we said previously in our last video that we was going to put out more content, here we are. We have been listening. So today we're going to speak about traditional marriages. So we will be generalizing with regards to the information. However, some of the information too will be relating more to like the Ashanti tribe, or the Ashanti tradition, culture. So if you're Ghanaian on your Ashanti, you understand. We will be doing other tribes in the Ghanaian community as well as other African countries as well. So it won't just be based on just Ashantis and that's it. So just bear with us, and very soon you'll see the videos for the other tribes and countries. We're going to start off with what is a traditional marriage. To be honest with you, a traditional marriage is actually a marriage in the Ghanaian community. Back in our parents' days and our grandparents' days, there was no such thing as a white wedding. Culturally, traditionally, once the two families come together and they exchange the rings and they accept the marriage, that was it. From that point onwards, you were a missus, you were someone's wife or someone's husband, and that was it. Prior to that, obviously, they had their requirements that both families would do. So, for example, they would do research into the person or the family that their child is going into or joining. So they would look at the type of things like if they have any sicknesses in the family, what are their traits, what is it? Is it diabetes, high blood pressure, things like that, because they want to know the generations to come if their children are going to be sickless or not. If it is, they don't want no parts, they don't want their child to go there. No. And also it was actually seen as a way to attain higher status, social status. So obviously if you could marry into a richer family, you've made it in life. Straight away you've gone from here to here. So really it was all about status, and it wasn't necessarily based on love, because there was a lot of arranged marriages in our parents' days and our grandparents' days as well. So it wasn't just based on love. Whereas fast forward now, it's mainly, majority are based on love, So Ruda?
I was going to say as well, it's not just in African traditions or cultures, it's actually biblical. If you actually go to the marriages in the Bible, it's literally family coming together, doing a few ceremony exchanges, and that's it, you're married. And they'll pay a dowry, whether it was cows, or land, something.
Or some form of money.
Yeah, gold, depending on the era. Some of them it was gold, some of them was animals, and some of them was land, some of them was cloth, sugar, salt, and so on. So based on them, but nowadays, obviously, because where we live is either money, cash, dollar,
l'argent,
and the list, obviously.
Yes.
But so we're gonna break down on what sets a traditional marriage, following what husband says. Yeah. So after the families have put nowadays, after the guy proposes to his girl with his ring to say, "Hi, babe, I want you to be my one and only for life," he would let his family know.
Yes.
And then they would do what we call the knocking.
So that's where the koko comes into it there.
I quite like the word koko.
Yeah. But basically it's just a terminology for like knocking on the door of the bride's family. So at that point, like Rudo said, the proposal would take place. You get your ring, madam, you get your ring. Yes. You put a ring on it.
Then you get it.
And then so that's when it leads to the knocking. So basically the knocking stage is when the groom's family go to the bride's family house and state their intentions from a family perspective and the group. So once again, I've seen a rose in your garden, we would like to come and pluck that rose. They always use this type of analogy. Why, I don't know, but it seems to work.
I get it.
But
so
that's what it works.
A garden,
And it's full of
if you
flowers.
want the flower, you have to pluck it.
And in order for that rose, for example, to blossom, you need to take time to water it, feed it, look after it, make sure. Apparently with roses especially, you have to talk to it as well in order for it to open up and blossom. So yeah, it takes work. And obviously, as you know, to look after a child or your daughter to get to a point where she's ready for marriage, it's the same thing. So yeah, so it makes sense, but it's just funny to hear sometimes. So, so they'll do that. And then the bride's family, or the dad mainly, would be the main spokesperson at that point. And or if they have like a relative as a spokesperson for them, they'll be there too. And they'll basically ask what their intentions are, which they would have stated. And then they would ask the bride if they should agree. Is this what she wants? She'd also say yes. Then obviously they would both agree on a date, so they'll discuss a date. And then the bride's side of the family would also give a list. The famous list. Now, this list can cost from only God knows to thy kingdom come. That will be done on earth. As in, this list, it all depends on the family, to be honest with you, what their requirements are. So there's certain things that I would say are a generic request or requirement on the list. And then obviously every family is different. They'll add whatever they want to add on there. There's no right or wrong answer. So stuff like, for example, the most important, the ring is one that would be on the engagement ring or the wedding ring. Then Bible for the bride, because obviously it's always based on God. Marriage is based on God, so putting God first in your marriage is important. So yes, so she'll get the Bible. Then a suitcase, because she's leaving her parents' house to now move into her husband's house. And in order for her to move her stuff, she needs to put it in a suitcase. So they'll request a suitcase, a few suitcases, maybe 2. And then
material.
Yes, cloth, material, entoma as we would refer to it. Kente, whichever one. It could be kente, it could be normal material like woodin or whatever it is. What was it? The other one? Holland wax.
Yeah.
You go to Liverpool Street, Holland wax. Yeah. Basically, things to help a woman start her home. It's basically things that the family would request for from the groom as part of her gifts. So after the list is given to the groom's family, they will also discuss the bride price. Now, when we were researching this,
we always say, because I always say my guy paid the dowry. That's all we know.
But little did we know that that was the wrong terminology. So basically, it's the bride price that the bride's family would request, or the groom family would give to the bride's family, is the bride price, which is most likely the bride's family would give them a price. So it's like, not that they're selling her, but
so it's basically saying thank you. We appreciate you for looking after the flower to get to this stage.
Yes. However, the dowry is actually when the bride's family pay money to the groom's family. So this is this is more common in the Asian community than in the African community, because it's normally the other way around, with the groom paying the bride's family. So yeah, so that was something that we learned, because we always say dowry.
Yep.
It was wrong. It's bride price. Okay, so guys, going forward is what? Bride price. So yeah, so that was just a little thing, little gem. So once that is discussed, then obviously they'll set a date for the traditional marriage, not engagement, marriage, and then they'll go and then they'll come back on that date. And when they come back on that date, they would have to have all the things that were discussed on that list, the bride price, and any extras. When I say extras, you'll know what I mean by the extras. But yeah, the extras. So yeah, so then on the day of the actual marriage, or the traditional marriage, is where the groom's family would now obviously once again go to the bride's side, and they would knock again. They'd make noise basically on their arrival to signify that they're there and they're coming.
What's the noise? What did they say?
I go.
Funny. But yes.
So they'll make basically to signify that they're coming. The spokesman from the bride's family would welcome them in, which they'll come and greet and take their seat, and then they'll be offered some drinks as custom, and then they'll be asked what their intentions are, why are they there, meaning what's the reason for their visit. Then they'll state why they're there or their intention. So once they do that, then eventually the groom will come in with his boys. You know, they'll come and do a little 1-2 step. Let their presence be known.
Yep, it is day as well.
Yes,
I think
of course.
people forget that it's also the guys or the groom's day, but it's a groom's day as well. So yeah, he comes in. So he can either come in with the drums, or he can just walk in if he wants to, or he can play a song, come in with his boys, and then they will come once he's in. The spokesperson from, I believe is the
bride side.
The bride side will ask him
Once again,
why are you here, my G?
What's his mission? Why are you here? Yeah, and then he'll obviously state why he's here, and then they'll offer him a seat. So then at that point, once he's taken his seat, the groomsmen will go and collect the gifts, which they've nicely wrapped up, or gift boxes, and they'll usher the stuff in. So they'll bring it to the forefront so everyone can see that they've brought the gifts along with them, or they came with gifts, and then they'll place them at the front.
In Ghanaian traditions, the families sit at different sides.
Yes, opposite sides.
And it's usually just done as it's just now they're making it different, that they put tables, but originally you just have sit to the left and sit at the right side, facing each other.
Yes. So following from Rudo's point about the positioning of the family, yes, so then the groom will sit on the left and the bride's side on the right. So once the groom has taken his seat and then they've ushered in the gifts for everyone to see, then they would now call the bride. But even before that, what they tend to do, sometimes just to jazz it up a bit, is they'll bring out random girls. So maybe they'll pick a few from the bridal party, and bring them out, cover their faces, and bring one of them out and ask the groom, is this the bride? And he'll be like, nope. Then they'll return her back. Then they'll bring another one out. Is it her? No. Until it's time for the correct one to come out. And then that's when she'll be, dancing from the house to the point where she'll be in front of everybody. And then they'll ask him again, is this your bride? And he'll say yes, or the bride to be that you want to marry. And then he'll obviously confirm. So then once she's at the front, and she's made her, they'll welcome her. And then they'll also ask her that, does she know the guy? Has she seen him before? Where does she know him from? When they want to just be jokes, that make jokes. Then obviously she'll confirm that yes, she does. And ask her, do you know why she's there? And she'll say yes. Why is she there? Because he wants to marry me. And then they'll ask her if she accepts this request. And then she'll say either yes or no, which she's most likely to say yes. So then from there is when they start the actual ceremony. Then the groom side will also do what they need for by paying the bride price to the parents. Once he's paid the bride price to the parents, then he'll also have extra money. This is the extras that I mentioned before. Then he'll also pay some money to the brother, if she has a brother. If she doesn't have a brother, then they'll give it to her first cousin, a male first cousin, if she doesn't have a brother, which is known as the Akan. And then also some of them, not traditional, but some do, especially if she has like sisters, he may also give money to the sisters as a sign. It's just basically a form of appreciation to the siblings, mainly for the brothers, to say that thank you for protecting her and for kind of keeping all the other men away. Yeah, so that's the significance of the Akan. So yeah, it was quite interesting to learn. You hear this stuff, but you don't really know the actual meaning behind it until you get older, or you actually sit down and research it, and then it's like, oh, actually, wow. So yeah, so that was a bit of an eye opener. So yeah, once the bride price is done and everybody's received their money and they are good, yeah, and everybody's they're thinking, wow, today, hey, yes, then exchanges of the ring. and then they're traditionally married. And then obviously the pastors will bless the marriage, and then they'll receive advice from everybody and anybody. Every advice. Some of the advice that you don't really want to hear, you're going to hear. And then officially you are a Mrs. and a Mr., meaning that you are married. So yeah.
I was going to say, even that you can have, so originally a lot of the traditionals took place in the bride's family home, but nowadays you can also have it in the venue, outside, you can pay for it, or depending on how many people that you want to be there. And then also because nowadays we modernize a lot of our traditional weddings to make them, we actually put decor and things like that, where before you didn't need to. You just
more
arrange
simple
chairs and let's carry on.
And obviously as well, because we're in London, not everyone's house is big enough to in terms of capacity to cater for so many people, especially if you have a very big family. And we're not even talking about extended, and even just with like your immediate family. If there's a lot and your house is small, then it's most likely that most people would tend to get a hall, and especially if they've got big guests and big families that they want to invite to be part or share their day with, then they're most likely to go and rent a hall, or even a relative's garden, or an open space where they can put a marquee and then basically do everything there. So so like Ruda said, now in times that we're in, everything's modern and people are changing the rules. Obviously in terms of the actual ceremony it's the same, but everything around it, people are putting their spin on, which we're here for, because as we see from Thursday onwards on social media, especially on Instagram, you'll see traditionals, like literally every other post is someone's traditional, where they're just dancing, and you can see the joy in, especially like the bride when she's coming out, you can see the joy in her face and in her heart, like it's just radiating through her, so fun times. Obviously then after is the reception, you eat, you dance, you go and then everybody's married. So that's basically
the typical Ghanaian tradition. They might vary depending on the tribes that you come in. They might add a few stuff, but it's pretty much
this is the basis,
the
or the fundamental of a traditional marriage. So guys, thank you very much. I hope you learnt something today, because I know I did, and so did Rudo. Like, comment and subscribe. If there's anything else that you'd like us to video or comment on or talk about, please leave us a comment in the comment section, or send us a DM on Instagram, call us, email us. We're easy and open. So thank you very much for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back, like we said, with the other parts. So God bless, thank you, and see you later. Bye.